How's it going, everybody? Today we are back in the garden and we are going to take a look at everything that we managed to grow this past year, and we are going to take a look at how the season ended as well. And let's just say that it didn't really end on a good note.
That's not gone well.
Now, one thing I should mention before we start is that we are by no means experts when it comes to growing vegetables, but we gave it our best shot this past year.
Dude, this is as big as my hand. I mean, look at this thing.
Me and my buddy started a few different gardening projects earlier this year. We were going to grow things outside in the fields, and then we were also going to grow stuff in greenhouses. We built a couple of greenhouses, and the plan was to fill them up with vegetables. Now, before we started to plant everything, we cleared the soil of all the weeds that grew over the winter. My goodness, these weeds are such a pain. There's even a tree growing here. Why is there a tree growing in my greenhouse? And then we got the ground ready, we loosened it up with the help of this machine, both inside and outside in the fields. This thing worked really well and it really made our job a lot easier. And after that, we put down some of these hoses to water the plants. They are special garden hoses. At a certain distance, they have holes in them and water comes out through there. And lastly, we put down some of these garden mats to prevent the weeds from growing. The mats from inside the greenhouses were pretty thick, so we had to manually make some holes in them with scissors so we could put the plants through the holes. But outside we had some different garden mats. They weren't as thick, so we could make the holes with the planter. When we put the vegetables in the ground, the planter would go straight through that tarp. Now, our first big project was tomatoes. We filled up an entire greenhouse with over 100 tomato plants, which we grew ourselves from seeds. We planted these buffalo heart tomatoes, which grew really well.
This one looks nice. Let's see. Holy crap. It not only looks nice, but it is absolutely massive as well.
They got really big and we put the largest ones on a scale and we weighed them, and the heaviest one was 1.2 kilograms, and overall the tomatoes were a success inside of the greenhouse. But of course there were some issues as well. Some of the flowers withered away. We took good care of them, but some of the flowers just didn't really make it. Some tomatoes did go bad as well, and some birds or something got inside of the greenhouse and ate some of the tomatoes.
So it's gone bad.
Yeah,
It's all mushy
I think like half of this is good,
and half
but
is bad.
mush,
Mushy.
put it aside.
Put it aside.
And then we planted some of these small field tomatoes, in the yard, and they didn't really require much care. As I've said, we've put down some garden mats just to protect them from the weeds, and then some plastic hoses to water them. And then we kind of just left them out there and they grew at their own pace over the summer. We didn't even have to prune them or anything like that. Now, the second big greenhouse project was cucumbers, which did well-ish. Some of them did go bad, their color changed early on and they didn't really grow. They kind of dried up and withered away.
Well, that does not look good. This cucumber looks like it's gone bad for some reason. I mean, this one here is fine, but then this one up here, it's all yellow and well, it's gone bad. And we definitely gotta remove it so it doesn't infect all the others. Let me just do this. Look at that. What's happened to this poor guy?
But we removed all of the bad ones and the plant in itself was fine, and in the extra space that we had in the cucumber greenhouse we planted a few other vegetables like peppers and things like that. And our third project was potatoes. We planted them outside and they didn't really require all that much effort. We planted them and they grew on their own over the summer. We just had to take care of the weeds. There were no bugs to eat the leaves this year. Usually bugs appear over the summer and eat the potato leaves, but somehow this year they didn't appear and we managed to grow them and harvest them without any sort of worries. Now, the fourth project was watermelons, which we never grew before, but to our surprise they did really well. We harvested a fair amount. We didn't have all that many watermelon plants because we just didn't know if they would grow, but they did, and I think the heaviest one was around 7 kilograms, and they were delicious as well, and they didn't have all that many seeds. I cannot even describe how good this thing smells. It looks so good as well, and it is ripe to say the least, and it doesn't have all that many seeds either, which is very nice. The one thing that I don't really like about watermelons is, the seeds. But look at this, it's barely got any seeds. This side, just, a few of them here, a few of them there, but it's mostly seedless. Is that a word? I hope so. Alright, and now the moment of truth. We are going to munch on it and see what it tastes like. Oh my god. It is so good. And then we grew some extra things like strawberries, which are my personal favorite, and some other plants as well outside in the fields. But towards the end of the season, a massive storm rolled in and it did, quite a bit of damage in the garden, and well, the storm destroyed our largest greenhouse.
You think the plants are recoverable?
I hope so, but
You hope so?
I don't know what to say after this.
So there are peppers here, there are cucumbers, and a bunch of other things.
Plants.
And it looks like, some of them survived, but
Who knows how many?
who knows for how much longer, because they are crushed.
The strong winds literally broke the greenhouse, the tarp, the metal, it was all shredded, and we still had things growing because the storm came around the end of August, so that was unfortunate, but nature is nature, it was nothing we could do about it, but yeah, it was a bit of a low blow.
The wind was so strong that it broke the metal. It's actually crazy. Well, this sucks.
Yes.
Honestly, we didn't really know what to say or how to react at the time because it was unfortunate. A lot of time, effort, and resources went into the greenhouse and in the garden in general because it does take a lot of time, months for everything to grow from the seed to the actual plant. It takes quite a bit of time, so it was definitely, as I've said, a low blow. Luckily, the other greenhouses were alright for the most part. There was a bit of damage here and there, but nothing major. We just had to replace a few bits and pieces, but there we go. That's how things went this past year in the garden. Things went well until they didn't anymore. But we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. I hope you have enjoyed. In case you did, be sure to drop some stuff and things down below, and I will see you in the next video.